Hello, everybody. How's it going? All right. Waiting for. All right, cool. Facebook and everybody's online. All right, cool. All right, y'all. Happy Valentine's Day or Happy Galentine's Day, whichever one we are celebrating this year. So today we're going to talk about how to rekindle the relationship with your business. So if you are a hi digital girl, if you are a coach, a consultant, or online service provider and you've fallen out of love with your business, we're going to talk about how to fall in love with your business again. So feel free to drop your questions and your comments into the chat and we can discuss them here if you're live or if you're watching the replay. Hey, Brittany. If you're watching the replay, then I will also respond to your comments as well. As you guys see, I'm kind of festive. I try to be festive. I put on some red lipstick for y'all. um, but in honor of Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day, I thought this topic was appropriate because having a business is a lot like actually having a relationship. And depending on why or how we got into business, similar to a relationship, maybe we sometimes feel complacent or unsatisfied, maybe even frustrated at times. But then there are other times where we love our business, everything is great, and we're excited to see it grow. Oh, oh, Brittany says I'm pretty. Thank you so much. Hey, Jaboja. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Hey. um, so as I said before, having a business is a lot like having a relationship, and I feel like a lot of the same things that keep a relationship going and a lot of how we feel about our business dictates how our business actually does, honestly. And I think the best relationships, whether we're talking about romantic or platonic relationships, have a foundation in truth. So let's start with the truth, guys. Having a business is work, period. I'm finding like a lot of people don't understand that they are going to have to put work into their business to see the results that they desire. Also, they don't understand that they are going to have to invest or pay. You either pay with time or you pay with money. And honestly, sometimes it's both. Um, this is why it's like really important to keep your why you're doing this, why you started the business at the forefront, and what made you fall in love with it in the first place, fall in love with that idea that you had in the first place. And the reason why I say this is because just because you decide to open a business doesn't mean that people are going to buy from you. Just because you open a business doesn't mean things will automatically get better because now you're your own boss. It's just not how it works. Okay? That's the truth. And if we think about things in this way, like, oh, things are just gonna be better because I have my own business, that's similar to like having unrealistic expectations in a relationship. So it's kind of like you are friends with somebody who cheats all the time and doesn't really care about anything or anyone. And then you guys get into a relationship and then you think they're going to treat you like a queen or a king, right? It's like, no, they're literally the same person. And you're just trying to fit who you are into their mold, which is always a bad idea, right? So when it comes to your business, you have unrealistic expectations. You think money is going to come quickly. You don't want to invest in your business or yourself to take your skill set to the next level. You think it's going to be better just because. I hate to break it to you, that's just not how it works. So, first things first, we need to get rid of unrealistic expectations, especially with what you see on social media. This is literally the first step to falling back in love with your business because somewhere along the way, we got the notion that everything will be puppies and rainbows, and nobody and nothing is perfect, just like in a relationship. Hello. So I can tell you firsthand, there will always be ups and downs in business. Things, you know, they don't go as expected all the time. But there will also be amazing days, amazing things that will be accomplished. There will be dog days. But there are some things that you can do to fall in love with your business again. So, guys, I have 7 ways or 7 things that you can do or need to think about to fall back in love with your business. The first is going to be to reclaim or be clear about your why. And I talked about this earlier, but I think it's really important. I see a lot of coaches and consultants, online service providers, really entrepreneurs in general. They want to skip this, right? I think it's important to just be clear about why you decided to embark on this journey in the first place, and keep that at the forefront. You will have to go back to your why often. You will, especially when you're telling your brand story. And if it's surface level, it's going to sound that way. And if I'm being brutally honest, which I often am, if your sole goal is just to make money, I feel like you're going to be burnt out and dissatisfied, honestly, because it's hard work, way more than a job. So, like, way more than a job. You will work harder in your business than you will work at any job. I promise you. Promise you. And that's the truth, especially in the first few years. Like, you have to realize and just recognize different opportunities also. So, is this something that I'm going to start a business in? Is it something I'm going to invest in? Or is it something I'm going to pass up? I have to make these decisions often, honestly. So if you don't know the difference, let me help you out. Okay. So if you're actively starting a business in something, that means you're going to put blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, right? So that it can run like a well oiled machine. Investing means you're going to put money up, right? So you'll be a partner or a silent partner, but you're not going to be involved in the day to day, right? If you want to be a passive income earner, this is honestly the way to go. Wealthy people have, 7 streams of income. Millionaires have, the average millionaire now has 7 streams of income, and usually 4 to 6 of those are passive. Just in case anybody was wondering. But then, there is also the passing up the opportunity, right? Meaning you're not going to get involved, period. It's not going to be a business opportunity for you, but you support it, you respect it, and you know your limits. You have to decide, right? So there's going to be starting the business in it, investing in it, or passing it up. And you just have to know which one makes sense for you. Okay. The second is living and speaking your truth. In your business, there will be so many things that are going to be thrown at you, but you have to always do what's in alignment with your core values and your brand values. If something doesn't feel right, it's probably not. And something may be a good opportunity, right? But don't just do stuff because of that, right? One of the fastest ways to lose your brand community and lose those folks who supported you is to just start doing stuff that don't serve them in your business, which is why you were trying to start it in the first place. And you just doing stuff because it's a good opportunity, right? So just always be aware of that. The third is to level set your expectations. So just like in a relationship, level set your expectations. Set proper expectations for yourself. Hey, Tiffany. And your business. Know when you're at your limit and get help accordingly, right? And you know that things won't happen overnight. You know what your non-negotiables are, adjust accordingly. No one will be perfect. Your business will not be perfect, right? But know what's acceptable and know what's not. The fourth is setting boundaries, right? This is super important. Boundaries are important. You have to set boundaries for yourself, boundaries for your team, for your clients, right? People should not be calling you and contacting you at 1 a.m. asking about coaching or consulting. I'm just saying. I don't care if they're on a different time zone. Whatever your business hours are, those are your business hours. Okay? So, and I know we want to be there for our clients, but you have to set those boundaries. It's really important. Everybody needs time away. Everybody, right? One of the things that I do now, like I've talked about time blocking a lot. I talk about it a lot actually, but one of the things that I've started to do now is prioritize my emails a little bit more. So when I worked full time, you have your email open like all day long. So what happens? You get stuck in your email box all day long, and it's like distracting. So what I started to do was answer my emails at certain times. So I batch respond to emails now. It helps with efficiency, but also helps me to get other things done so that I'm not like feeling like I have to like constantly be in my inbox, because you really don't. There's no emergency email, because if there was an emergency email, I hope that you're going to pick up the phone and call me and not send me an email that's an emergency. I'm just saying. or at least a text or something, right? So just as a little tip about how you can get more efficient and in your business and not like be stuck at things like with emails and like trying to answer customer service requests. You'll drive yourself crazy. That's boundaries, right? The fifth thing is trust the process. So while you may not see the fruits of your labor right away, right, as we often don't, especially when we first start our business, don't get discouraged. There is a method to the madness, and there are levels to this. So don't judge your beginning on someone else's middle or even the end of their entrepreneurship journey. Honestly, um, you are where you are, and you are where you're supposed to be, right? The sixth thing is knowing that growth can be challenging. So remind yourself that growth is going to be challenging, but it's well worth it if you're willing. Okay. Remind yourself that growth can be challenging, but if you're willing, it will be well worth it. So what I mean by that when I say that is you have to be willing to invest in yourself to level up. Just like in the relationship, if you don't put in the time, hey, magical relationships, it just like in a relationship, if you don't put in the time, it's not going to go anywhere. Same thing with your business. Um, I said before, you're either going to invest with time, money, and sometimes it's both, right? Sometimes it's both. But if you don't invest, you will literally be in the same place. You treat your business like a hobby, or you have a $1 work ethic trying to make $1,000,000, you will produce a $1 result, right? Hire a coach, seek mentors, seek advisors. No one builds their business alone, and you can ask anyone. I promise you, anyone who's successful, if they did it for free or they use Google or YouTube, ask them. I bet you will find a consistent answer, or consistently what they'll probably say, which I'm pretty sure, even after they've made it or they're making consistent income, they're consistently investing in personal development, right? And the size of that investment is actually increasing. It's not a coincidence, right? I'm just saying $100 investments yield $100 results. $1 investments yield $1 results, right? Just know that growth is going to be challenging, but if you're willing, it will be well worth it, right? And the last thing, the seventh thing I talk about all the time is operating in your zone of genius. I'm not like, I say that because I see so many people, they try to start businesses like because they see someone else doing something. And they think that they can make a lot of money. Like that person's doing it, so I'm going to jump in and do it. And it's not even something that they're good at. They have no idea like about it, how it all works, the back end of things. And so they don't know what it really takes to make it successful, right? You're just an outsider looking in. So, then you get into it and you're like completely dissatisfied and you want to quit because, it doesn't fulfill you, right? But then some people like don't want to quit because it looks like failure, just this whole back and forth. Let me say this. If you have strayed from what you're good at, go back to your own foundation. Okay. If you have strayed, from what you're good at, I encourage you to go back to your own foundation. Till the soil and replant those seeds. Sometimes our business evolves and we lose parts of ourselves. We lose parts of ourselves and like who our brand was at its core. So if you feel lost in your business, sometimes you have to go back home, right? And that home is your foundation. Think about it. Like when you're navigating like on your computer or navigating on the internet and you get lost, what does that person typically do? Like if they're trying to help you navigate, what do? They tell you to click home and start over, right? Like they're like, go back home and then you're going to start over. It's like recalibrating yourself so that you can re-navigate clearly. Hopefully I'm making sense with that. So that's why I tell my clients to operate in their zone of genius and stop trying to do and be like everybody else. Be like you. You have talent, you have skills, you have expertise, you have knowledge that you can use and you can monetize, right? And you have people that are waiting to hear from you. But when you kind of get lost in all the sauce and all the things that are thrown at you. You try this, you try that, and you're doing all these different things. Sometimes it's helpful to go back to your own foundation and kind of start over, start from home, right? And then I'm sure that you're going to find yourself and find like why you started your business again at the core so that you can better serve your clients. So, does anybody have any questions? Any questions or any comments? Any questions or comments? I say I like my relationship analogies. I tried. I tried to keep it. I tried. Any questions or comments, guys? Anything from Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube? Anything from Instagram? You guys have any questions or comments? All right. So just to recap, the 7 ways you can fall back in love in your business again, or 7 things you should think about or remind yourself of. Number 1 is to reclaim your why. You're going to have to go back to that often. Number 2, live and speak your truth. It's important just to be authentically you. Number 3, level set your expectations, right? Just know that everything's not going to be perfect. Number 4 is to set boundaries. Not having boundaries is like a really fast way to get overwhelmed really quickly. So make sure you do that in the beginning. And if you have let your boundaries slip, for my consultants, if you got that, if you letting scope creep take over, you kind of have to push the walls back, right? So that you can have boundaries and be happier and healthier in your business. Number 5 is trust the process. It may seem like you're just doing things over and over and over, but you got to go through to grow, right? Number 6, know and remind yourself that growth can be challenging, but it's well worth it. Make sure to invest in yourself and your business to see it grow, to see it get to the level that you've always envisioned. And then 7 is continue to operate in your zone of genius. If you find that you strayed away, come back to home because I can't tell you or can't stress this enough. It's very tempting, like especially as your business evolves and grows, people ask you to do different things and you get involved in different projects. You kind of forget. Like a lot of things, and your brand might get diluted. So it takes a lot to basically make sure that when you're growing your business, you always are operating from your core and everything's always in alignment with that, right? Yeah. Oh, Digital Girl says, thank you. Confirmed I should go live later too. Thanks for the motivation. You're welcome. So guys, these are actually the exact steps that I take in my business. And this is how I stay in love with my business year after year. It's like a relationship. It's hard work. And believe me, if you're willing to work at it, it will be well worth it. I mean, honestly, yeah, there are some days I'm like, like, why did I do this? Like, those days happen, right? Everybody has those days. Every entrepreneur will tell you that there are days. Hey, Coach Shia. There are days where they're just like, oh my God, like, why did I decide? Why did I decide to do this? Right. But, just like with a relationship, there's ups and downs, right? But I promise you, it really is hard to love your business if you feel like you're working tirelessly with no results. So definitely, we want to change that. Make sure that you're consistently in front of your ideal clients and you're able to create consistent income. So if you feel like your coaching or consulting business needs some love, and you want to learn more about how you can get clients and become more profitable through creating multiple streams of income, you can click the link in my bio if you're watching me on Instagram, or if you're watching me on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You can click the link in the description of the live and apply for the Brand Builder Blueprint. Yeah? All right. Any questions? Any questions at all, guys? Thank you for joining today. Appreciate you. Once again, happy Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day. I'm celebrating Galentine's Day. Any questions? No? All right. Just checking, making sure. All right, y'all. Well, if that's it, I'll let y'all go. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your evening. Take care. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. Facebook and YouTube at I Simply She. LinkedIn, I'm at Crystal Vernay, and Instagram at I_simply_she. All right, guys, have a good one. Take care.